Hi everybody and good evening. I think it's Monday evening now. And I just thought I'd pop on Facebook, say hello to everyone. Excuse the hair, I've been running around and working around the house this afternoon. But you know what? I was out and about, and I'm sure like many of you, you've seen the grocery store shelves. I went into Trader Joe's for some salad dressing, and lo and behold, I was in luck because that's one of the few things that was on the shelves. And we're not used to this. And it's really kind of a crazy sort of surreal sensation to be in this amazingly abundant society and see things out like that. But something wonderful comes of it, doesn't it? Because we realize how lucky we are, how blessed we are, how abundant we are most days of our lives. We realize that, we have so much to be thankful for. We have running water and electricity and homes, and, even if the rice and beans run out, we've got the internet where we can order stuff. And most of us are so well fed that we wouldn't starve to death at all, if we had to go a little while with less. So it was really quite phenomenal. I mean, honestly, I just wandered up and down the aisles and smiled at people. Just thought, we live in historic times. Really quite fascinating. But the one thing that I am doing when I'm out and about, because like the rest of us, I'm stocking up on a few supplies in case things get a little wonky out there, is I am spreading well-being, because well-being runs through the universe. Well-being is a flow of energy that exists at all times. It is never absent. We either allow for it or we block it. And the reason this disease is spreading so fast in some areas, if you really pay attention to the culture and all of that, is that in the areas where the fear has run rampant, so does the virus. In the areas where people just handle it in a more methodical way, they've gotten ahead of the power curve with it. And it's really quite something to behold. So the best way to bolster our personal strength, both spiritually and physically, is to live in a space of peace, not fight and flight. Because fight and flight, as we know, robs the body of most of its natural function so we can face the tiger. Whereas when we're relaxed and calm and peaceful, our body operates the way it should. Its immune system tends to operate the way it should. I'm not talking about people who've got compromised immune systems, but in general, we have a more alkaline environment in the body. In general, we don't support these little zombies called viruses, because that's what they are. They really don't have any life of their own until they find something weakened within us to jump in and possess. Viruses are just a form of possession. Really. But when our light is strong and our spirits are calm, knowing we rest in that divine light that's constantly flowing, then nothing can touch you. This is a visual I use, you can find your own, but I literally imagine as I'm going through the stores or wherever I'm going, that this giant pouring of light, almost like coming in a funnel, is pouring in my crown chakra and coming into my heart and emanating from me outward to everybody in the vicinity, because I'd rather be a blessing to the entire store or place or wherever I am than to worry about somebody else being my curse. And you can do that. And the funny part is, as you open up intentionally, I want that energy to run through me. I want that energy to bless everybody in the vicinity. You start warming up. You're in this totally protected zone. And on top of it, probably everyone within 50 feet is too. So if that's not your thing, then pray as you go through these places. I pray a blessing upon this place. I pray a blessing to everybody in here. I ask that everyone in here, dear God, realize and open to your well-being and to your streams of grace that are coming in. I ask to be a beacon of light. Let the light of your love rise up within me, God, and infect everybody around me with that light and that joy. People have been coming up to me, how you doing? And everybody's a little nervous, and I say, I'm doing great, I'm spreading well-being and joy. And they smile, and they laugh, and they say, well, that's a lot better than what we've been hearing on the news. And we can, one soul to the next, infect each other with love, with kindness, with joy, with humor. There's a lot of humor going on. Just go to Instagram and do hashtag Toilet Paper Crisis 2020. Unbelievable humor. I was talking to a friend today who reminded me that when his kids were little, they used cloth diapers and they washed them. They just dumped, what they needed to dump down the loo, and then they just washed them. And so, really, the worst that can happen is we end up washing again, like we used to. but gosh, we have washing machines. We don't have to go to the river. So I hope it doesn't come to that, but it just, some perspective here that we're not going to die if we run out of something. There are neighborhood websites that are extremely positive these days. There's one I was invited to be on called Next Door. You guys might know about it. And neighbors have been posting the most beautiful things to one another. One young guy said, I'm a millennial, and if there's elderly people out there who can't run errands easily, let me know and I'll run them for you. I wanted to cry because, this is the best of humanity coming up. So my wish is that we let kindness go viral. We let truth go viral. We let love go viral. We imagine that little virus that really looks like a sad porcupine. When you see the picture, it's like, it looks like a pufferfish. I love pufferfish, but with that little spiny thing, it's going, We're scared of that. Of course, because it's being spread. And because it's not much fun if you catch it. That's, obviously true. Most people feel miserable for a few weeks and then they recuperate. Some don't. Not a single soul on this planet will ever die before their spirit and the divine agree to it. We need not fear death because death does not come without agreement. Period. That's it. If you've made a decision to live, you will live. I've made it many times. The angels knocked on my door. Well, not literally, but they, some of you have heard this. A few years back, it was a Friday morning, 7 a.m. I had my first client at 9, and they said, Ann, you've learned everything you intended to learn in this segment of your existence, and you can come home now. You'll die painlessly in a car accident within the next 3 weeks, or you can stay on the planet. And I'm sitting there thinking, are you kidding me? I've got clients in 2 hours. This is a big decision, and I could feel that siren of love and heaven near me. Believe me, when you feel heaven, it's a tough decision. We all want to live, but then you feel that, and you're like, beam me up. But I decided to stay because I knew I wanted to do more down here. But it's a choice, whether we know we make it consciously or not. So we need not fear death. I know most of us don't fear heaven. We just fear how we're going to die. But we don't even have to go there. You get to choose. You're a soul. You're a soul. You're nothing less than a finger of the divine. If you can imagine, this that we call us is a projection of the divine that forgot. We're running around feeling separate. It's kind of like if the hand said, oh my goodness, I can't get blood flow, and the arm's sitting there going, but I'm here. I'm here, just connect with me. So try as you watch the news and you start feeling the vibe, because so many of you are sensitive and empathic. And even if you're not afraid of, coronavirus, any personal fears might be a little more exaggerated these days. Something's beeping, excuse me. Because when the fear vibe is big on the planet, it tends to trigger other fears. So just be mindful of that and be kind to yourself and give yourself a hug and say, it's okay, honey. Everything's going to be all right. But see if you can't go around doing what you do, being where you have to be, spreading love, spreading well-being, spreading cheer, open to the well-being that's flowing in the universe as if you're opening up to a river of light, because you are nothing less than the divine. And that's the biggest bug zapper out there. Is the virus part of the divine? Yeah, it just forgot. It turned into a zombie. It can't even live on its own. And rather than letting the darkness possess us, the angels just say, let your light possess the world. Let your kindness, let your joy, let your love, let your well-being, let whatever needs to be inside of you that's beautiful come up. Creativity. You don't even have to be out in public. You can just sit quietly at home and imagine radiating light. And what I do is I imagine it coming in, in a sense, it's just an imaginary exercise, but it gets the energy cooking, coming into me, going down and spreading around the entire globe, as if it could drip down through me like candle wax and cover the entire globe with my light. And the more of us that do this, the more we embrace Mother Earth in like almost like a skin of light and love. And that energy vibration, that frequency band around the earth that is our love, becomes accessible to more and more and more human beings. The more of us that stand in this light and truth, committed to a higher wisdom, the more of us will affect change on this planet. I know I'm going on and on forever, but I'm kind of passionate about it because, we need not run around scared of each other. It's okay. I'm going to adhere to the health rules. I will probably have to go to phone readings and such, week or so, just to obey all the guidelines. I want to be mindful of everybody's different belief system. So we have to be human. We have to follow those little rules. But we need not fear. We need not run around thinking, oh gosh, somebody can infect me. You can, even if you like, you can scan. You know, before you touch a shopping cart, for example, if you're fearful of shopping carts, you can just say, which cart wants to love me? And go to that one. You can say, is it feeling comfortable for me to walk in this store now? If that bothers you. And trust yourself. Trust yourself. You're connected with God at all times. If it feels good, it is good. If it doesn't feel good, it's not good. Keep it very simple. And do whatever you need to do to feel comfortable. I ran into a beautiful woman at Starbucks, and she was apologizing. She says, oh, I look so silly wearing these gloves. She was wearing hand gloves. And I just said, honey, do whatever you need to do to feel safe, because it's your feeling of safety that gives you safety. It's the energy that gives you that feeling. So do what you need to do. You know, we're all different. For me, it's having some food in the pantry. I'm a Polak. I'm 1/4 Polish. We have to have food, you know, and not really, but I mean, it's kind of cultural. So whatever you need to do to feel secure, to feel clean, to feel safe, please do that. Honor yourself. Don't try to be holier than thou, you know, in terms of having, you know, thinking you should not need all those things, because maybe you do, maybe you don't. Just be who you are, but do it with love. Do it with kindness. Do it with an intention to stand in a light that's greater than any virus, greater than any stock market crash, greater than any of that. You know, stock market's just going to bounce right back up again eventually. It might take a while. It's like riding a roller coaster. You go down that hill and you're screaming your bloody head out, ah! You know, and then you hit bottom and you're like, wee! Think of it that way. Those of you worried about the market, get ready for the wee, you know. And the more of us that do that, the more it'll go back up sooner. So we're powerful. Our light is powerful. Our light is the divine light. There's no greater power. It creates universes. So let us be beacons of light. Let us be beacons of love. Let us be the small but mighty group that starts to create a much more rapid trend towards health and well-being on this planet. Because wherever 2 or more are gathered, there I am. And right now there's 38 of us, so that's quite a bit. And I'm going to do a live gaze, because I'm hotter than an oven and the energy's coming on. If you've never experienced one, it's a way that I stand in silent presence. I allow the energy of divine love to run through me, and I'll turn some music on. You just look in the eyes, and all you do is either, I'm going to try to get closer. Let me see if I can do this. All you do is either keep your mind quiet or say something over and over like, I receive, I receive, I receive. And just feel that love. It belongs to all of us. It's there for you at all times, and it wants to embrace you and fill your immune system with that positive light that can zap anything, and, you know, and make you a carrier of joy. So let me put some music on. Where's the music? Just a second. I'm not sure what's going on here. Oh, hold on. Sometimes when you're in this space, you know, technical stuff is a challenge. Okay, give me a minute. Let's see. about the music. It was a little loud. Wow. You're so loved, every single one of you. You're so guided. You're precious. You're perfect. You're divine. And no matter what happens in the next few weeks, no matter what the news, broadcasts, because it's just trying to share information, if you feel that little twinge of fear trying to set in, just take a breath and remind yourself, I can plug into well-being. It's always there. I can just open to it. I can let it wash through me. And I can be a beacon of light on this world. Because for the light workers, it's go time. It's our time to shine. It's our time to stand in truth. It's our time to remind people that what's important here is love. As a good friend of mine, Summer Bacon, who's an amazing trance medium, said last week, she said, let's make love go viral. I agree. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful night. And I'm probably going to attempt to sleep a little bit. I've been up. I pulled an all-nighter last night doing my taxes, so I think I'm going to sleep tonight. Love you all dearly. Have a wonderful evening. And don't forget, if fear just starts to grip you, you don't have to go there. You can just take a breath. Remind yourself that ocean of presence, that love, that well-being, that light is always there for you. As if the rest of the world could just melt away and reveal that truth behind everything. And you can tap into it anytime. Love you all.